welcome back to my channel. I have Mo here. He is my husband and co-founder of Nourish 3. For those of you who might be new,
hi guys.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. We are actually going to be turning 4 years old. Well, the brand is going to be turning 4 in just a few days, and I thought it would be the perfect time to sit down and do a Q&A all about our business, some behind the scenes topics, some questions that you guys have. I asked over on Instagram stories and you guys sent in some really great questions. I think this video is going to be great for anyone who is just getting started with their own business. If you have an idea, we're hoping to give a lot of good tips and advice in this video, and also just share like sort of the behind the scenes of what it takes to run a business. Also, of course, you know, doing it together. Mo is so involved in the brand and he is so passionate about these topics that we're going to talk about. He has so much great advice.
Really excited to open up all these questions that you guys had. A couple of months ago, Annie has shared something about that we are fundraising. It's been going really, it's been going really well, and you know, we felt in between that, we felt like we want to involve our community. They have been so helpful with everything, and we opened up through a crowdfund for all of you guys to join this round. And this is not a typical thing. You know, normally you go to traditional investors, which we have done as well. But part of this fundraise, we want to dedicate to our community. So you can join this round and you can be part or an investor in Nourish 3. That's really exciting, but I think this is going to be a little bit later after the Q&A.
Yeah, I thought we could first answer some of your guys' questions, and then we'll get into the information about the crowdfund and all of that in the second part of the video for those who are interested. So the first question is, what was the first thing you did when you decided to set up a business? And recommendations for those who want to start a business. The first thing that popped into my mind was Mo and I, back in our old apartment, we had this big whiteboard and we had this idea for the brand. We thought, okay, how are we even going to do this? So we wrote down on our whiteboard all of the steps, like all the big picture things that we needed to think about and get done. Do you remember that? We're like, we need to trademark our name. We need a website. We need a fulfillment. We need a manufacturer.
Today, I think I would do everything different. I think the best way to do it is to really create that kind of pitch deck. Create your idea and visualize it. So put together these points like, who are you? For who are you? What is the market? What is the competitive market? Why? Even the why, right? Like why you? This way you can really create a good setup for your business. And something else I would highly recommend is getting a mentor. And these people can advise you on so many things that will be really helpful. So what you can do is go and book a mentor and really get that advice that you need to start with something.
Yeah, I think also to the point that you were saying earlier, like doing the deck and doing sort of like a presentation for potentially, you know, a future buyer or a future investor or, you know, a future retailer. I think that gives you a lot of clarity and it makes you turn over a lot of stones. Like you need to turn over everything. You need to really think about every part of the business. And also one more thing that I think about is Google. Google is your best friend. Research, research, research. The next question is, how do you organize your day? For me, the most important is really writing down everything, like my top to-dos. Some days or some months that could be like 5 or 6 things. Sometimes it's 3 things, but there may be like really major things. For me, I love to have lists to keep me clear and focused and accountable with, you know, some sort of due date that is attached to that. Like how urgent is that? And let's get those things done first. And then also, you know, looking at my day as like what needs to get done that day or that week, but then also having like a macro perspective of what needs to get done in the next few months. Do we have an upcoming launch that we have to prepare for and really think about? You know, Q4 is coming now. Like that is one of the busiest seasons for every consumer brand. I think almost like worldwide is this season, and we are preparing for that like months in advance. So yeah, I like micro, macro, and lists perspective.
I think high priority, low priority, that's really the way to go. As Annie said, you know, currently we are crowdfunding, we're fundraising, we're launching a new product, Q4 is coming up. You know, there's so much things coming. It needs a lot of organization.
Next question, how did you get the courage to start the business despite all of the competition out there. For me, it was really seeing this huge white space in the market. I had obviously been on YouTube and in the industry for, at that point, like over 10 years, healing my own skin through this method of going within, and yes, using incredible skincare products. Skincare is so important, but so many of the skincare brands, like, they just were not talking about what it takes to heal the skin from the inside. And that is where I feel like where the real gold and where the real magic is. And so I felt there was nothing like this on the market, and we needed to bring it to market. We needed to bring this to people like myself who were really struggling and who wanted a more holistic approach to skincare.
I also believe, you know, look at the car industry, for example. There's an example. Like, there's so many cars out there, and all of a sudden Tesla was a new market, right? They're also a car brand, and they have started much later. And the question is always, is there actually a market for you? The way how you have to build it is really to make sure that you ask yourself the question is there a market for myself? And that's why you need to create that competitive deck where you really check and make that clear. Is there a space for me? Is there this white space? Let's say there's four corners. Cheap brand in that industry that's a high price brand that has this competitive edge, this is a competitive edge, and so on and so on. And then you go and you find your white space, and that's where you have to move. At the end of the day, I think there's always a market for anything. However, you need to make sure that you're covering the missing pieces of what are currently people missing in the market. And we felt Nourish3 was definitely something huge missing in the market.
I also feel with the question of courage to start, like, I feel like if you have an idea and you think it's an idea that lots of people could benefit from, it's almost like you can't help yourself to not do it. It would be such a missed opportunity to not, like, put yourself out there and take that risk to fulfill it. There's a book called Big Magic that I read back in 2015. In this book, she talks about this idea that ideas, and this, like, it gives me goosebumps because I remember when I was reading that, I was like, wow, this is so true. She talks about this idea of that ideas are not really ours. Like, they're sort of like floating around, and when this idea comes to you, it is your mission, it's your duty to act on that idea. And if not, that idea is going to go to another person or to another team of people. When this idea really came to us, it was something that we really, like, both discussed, and Mo was such a, like, fundamental part in, like, creating it and structuring it. If you don't act on that, it's going to go away because it wants to be born, you know, and it's kind of like, I guess, an energetic, spiritual way of thinking about it. But when it comes to the courage, like, you have to do it. Otherwise, you would feel so uncomfortable not doing it. It would be like a greater pain to not do it than to do it. At least that's how it felt like for me.
Yeah, it's like a raw diamond, right? Like, there's all these raw diamonds out there, but you have to make it shine.
Next question. How is life now that you have a business? Does the business get overwhelming?
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think for all founders, like, the first few years are just insane, like, insane amounts of work, long hours. It's so important to really fuel that fire. Does it get overwhelming? Sometimes, yeah, but I feel like we do try to have moments to connect and to ground ourselves and to celebrate our wins, to really remind us of why we're doing what we're doing, you know, when things get really hard.
You know, whenever there's a current struggle and you feel like, how can I get over this? That's the biggest struggle. Honestly, if that resolved, everything's gonna be better. And then you achieve that struggle. It's the next struggle, you know? That's part of business. Always gonna have new burdens that you have to take, and it's part of it.
So yeah, life is busy, but good busy. We're focusing on our family, on our business. That's, like, our main priority. The next question is, how did you two get started on this journey? And what pivoted to the decision?
We were a couple and we both were talking about it, but Annie was the influence. Like, Annie was the person who was telling me about her daily struggle, and I was like, I mean, there's a business opportunity here. We need to sit down and we need to discuss that. There's a way we could do this better. Annie has influenced me a lot, like all of you guys have been influenced by Annie. You know, I was always a health conscious person, but When I met Annie, this was like doubled 50 times. So I really see the value that the business has came from Annie, from her own struggles. She has been helping so many guys of you, and I felt like she's the best person to do that together with, and that's how we did it.
Oh. Okay, how did you find a manufacturer and a team who supports you with the product? This is obviously such a huge part of any brand. I think especially if it's a consumer good, it has to be so amazing. It has to be like the quality, the ingredients, everything. For me, that was the most important, was to find a great manufacturer and to have a good team around us. But of course, we were like, we didn't know where to start. Like, we were just so fresh with everything. One of the big things that we focused on was actually this. We came across a company, it was a turnkey company at the time. They connect you with manufacturers, with suppliers, and with a team who can help. Obviously, you have to pay for that. Nothing is for free. It's obviously a bit more of an expensive route, but for us at the time, that was how we thought we were going to, meet really great people, which we did. And then it's evolved a lot since we first started. Now we work privately with manufacturers and of course with our team members.
Get your pitch deck ready. It's so important, because if you want to get a good team together, they need to be believing in you, right? Get really clear on what you're building and inspire those people. Make sure they're starting to believe in your idea and mission. And that way, we have been able to get one of the biggest industry leaders on our team. People that said, wow, what you're building is amazing. I have never seen something like that. I want to join. I want to be part of this movement. And that's how we have been able to get all these amazing people on board. And these people joined us because they believed in our deck. They believed in our mission. They believed in what we're creating. And that's why it's so important. Get your deck ready and go out to people and say, listen, I'm building this. Would you like to join me?
Next question, how do you navigate working together and being in a relationship? And then a similar question to this is, how do you manage a full-time business, Analia, and YouTube? I would say it takes an incredible amount of communication. I think it's also really knowing each other's strengths and where the other person really shines, really having trust in the other person to excel and do the right thing in sort of their category or their line of work.
Not everyone can do everything. So it's not like Annie is doing it and I'm doing it and we're deciding. No, we have to trust each other. And it's like Annie has her parts of the business and I have my parts of the business.
I think we're also pretty good at having our time as a couple as well. We've been doing this now for almost 4 years, like with our 4-year birthday coming up soon. I think we've really learned the importance of like having some, a break, because we could talk about the business like all day long, right? But we also want to have moments where we can just like, yes, if there's like a great thing that we want to celebrate and it's something like positive that we want to talk about and like share the moment, of course we will bring that into like our personal time too. But if it's been like a really stressful day, like we're not going to bring that or those topics like into our chill time in the evening. For example, like when Nalia goes to sleep, 7 o'clock, 7:30, we try to put our laptops away. And we like to have like at least an hour where we can sit, connect, just like touch base with each other as like a couple first, because we realize like that is the fundament of everything, of our business, of our family, parenting relationship. Like with Nalia, everyone benefits when we're solid and we're like in tune and aligned, everything else benefits.
At the end of the day, we come back together, we discuss the day, advise ourselves on what needs to be done the next days, and then we're like, is anything open for today? No? Okay, let's put everything to the side. Let's go shower the day off, and sit down, have our evenings.
Yeah. Next question. How much time do you guys work on Nurse 3 versus YouTube? I feel like I work on YouTube pretty much daily, whether that's like filming something, editing, thinking about content, like putting something together, structuring it in my head. And then of course like the editing and the filming, they take up a lot of time. Nurse 3 is something that Mo works on every single day. And of course I work on it too, within everything else that I have to do for my YouTube. We do have help with Nalia a few hours in the morning, so that's really like the time where I try to get everything done, but you are really doing it like all day.
Annie is like 50-50. She does 50 part YouTube, 50 part Nourish 3, where I'm 100% Nourish 3. She's the person who creates the product ideas. She's the person who sets the tone, let's say it like that, where I'm like, okay, I have to put this now into real life.
Yeah, so, like you deal with all the operations and also like big picture things too, especially now lately with, you know, speaking to investors. Okay, what have been some of your biggest wins and some of your biggest struggles? I think for me, definitely biggest wins is seeing when you guys use the product and love the product and it changes your skin, it changes your life, you feel amazing. That for me, as a founder and as somebody who sits and works on these products, that for me is the biggest win. And then of course, when a product gets like officially recognized by some major outlet as well, like that's always exciting. We won an award for our cleanser, for example. I think also a huge win is when we get to work with really incredible people. Like some of our team is amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the biggest win for me is the team. We have gotten just now Michelle Lee. She joined our team. She's the lead investor of this crowdfund actually. She's the former chief editor of Allure and she was vice president of editorial at Netflix. She used to be a Sequoia Capital Scout, and it's such a treat if you see people joining and believing in you and what you're doing. What definitely struggles for me is like third-party reliance. Third-party companies that you are not in, you have no control over it. Like if the manufacturer's on time, if the shipping company's working well, all of that's something really annoying. I don't like to give up, but there's some things you cannot do yourself.
I agree. And then the last question, where do you see Nourish 3 in the next few years? For me, I definitely see us really getting the second two pillars together. We're called Nourish 3. We approach skincare through external care, inner nourishment, and emotional well-being. And right now, for the last few years, we've been focusing on our skincare products. And so now we're on to the next phase, which is focusing on our supplements that are already created. We are now just in the manufacturing stage. And these supplements really target skin health and skin radiance from within. So going from the inside, nourishing our gut health and our inner nourishment, and also our emotional health and our stress levels. And we're so excited about this. There is nothing else like this on the market. And yeah, a huge part of these goals and what we want to do, it involves having the capital to actually fulfill those orders. And we want to do some incredible clinical studies to back up our products, and all of this costs money. So this is actually where a part of the investment that we are doing in the crowdfund, this is where all of that comes in.
We want to say thank you guys. We want to say thank you for all the support you guys have given. And the brand has officially hit 1 million in sales. Like, we are so grateful for that. Without any digital marketing spend, without the backing of investors, all just through your support. And now we're at a point where we're like, wow, we have sold over 30,000 products. There's the next step to go, and that's where you guys come in. There's still so much that we have to share. We're just scratching the surface right now, and really fulfill that need that is out there, where people are struggling and they're not finding the results that they want through this oversaturated market, which we are putting into one brand.
So our crowdfunding campaign is now live through WeFunder. We are raising 1 million.
Yeah, and the funds that will be raised will fuel our growth in marketing, product expansion. We will really want to make sure that we are entering new markets. We are scaling our marketing budget, for example, from $0 to $560,000. Imagine $560,000 currently, just to give you an imagination. Currently, if we spend $1 into our marketing, we are generating $17. So you can imagine what 560,000 can generate. Yeah, we are really looking for 4.9 million in the next 18 months to generate 4.9 million in revenue.
And yeah, I think this is so exciting. This is an amazing opportunity to not just support us as the brand, but to be part of our brand, to be part of Nourished 3. We've always known that our community would play a crucial role in our brand and in our future. And now the time has really come. We want to really revolutionize how people see skincare and really change the industry and really focus from taking it from, you know, treatment to prevention and approaching skin health through this more holistic and really true way, focusing on skin health through the skin gut brain axis and getting these products into so many more people's homes and part of their life.
And you might ask yourself, why are we crowdfunding? We wanted to open up to our community, give you the possibility to be an investor in a brand. Generally, it's not a typical thing that you can be part of a brand. Most brands open up to traditional investors, VCs, family offices, high worth individuals, and all of that. But now you can be part of it. We are giving you the possibility to join. How it normally works is most brands at some point need to raise funds. I would say 90% of brands that come out are funded before they come out because they don't have the money, but they have an idea. And that's something that you might be building. In the questionnaire that I was telling you, you might go out with your pitch and pitch it to somebody that want to invest. At that part, we had a little bit of money that we put into our brand. So that's the pre-seed stage. Then you come to seed stage. That's where we are. If you go into a market and you want to expand into a retailer or all of that, that needs products. You need lots of inventory there, and that's something that you have to back. That's just too much for us. We cannot back so much inventory, and that's why we are crowdfunding. We're taking on crowdfunding to get into the market and also work with influencers to really be able to spread the message.
All right, so who can invest? If you are 18 years or older, anywhere in the world, you can invest between 150 and 20,000.
We have actually perks available, so you're not only investing in shares, but you're also having the potential to add perks towards your milestones. So for the one that is the most exciting one, the person who invests the biggest amount has the possibility to go on a trip with Annie and me to Italy, where we're going to be spending so much time together. You can find all of these informations on our crowdfunding page, of course. All the perks are visualized. The moment you add your investment amount, it will show you all the perks. Such a unique situation here, and that's so exciting. So yeah, you can find all the terms on the crowdfunding page, but to just give you a big picture, so we're raising normally on an $8 million valuation. We're estimating the company will be worth $8 million in the next 18 months. However, for the first 250,000 being raised, we are giving a 12.5% better rate for everyone who's an early bird. So in that case, you're joining on a $7 million valuation, which will give you more shares in the future round. That's something that you definitely need to consider. We still have 100,000 open. We have just launched yesterday actually, and we have raised 150,000, which is so exciting that it went so quickly. We're so grateful for that. But yeah, there's still 100,000 for that round to be on the better valuation. Then after everything, after the 250,000 will be on the 8 million valuation. Yeah, and you might wonder why 18 months? These funds, that will support us the next 18 months until we need to raise again. That's the moment when you will convert your shares, your investment into shares. That's the moment when you really get your shares. That's why I call it SAFE. It's a future equity round, and you are investing now. You are reserving your shares for our next round, which will be in 18 months. What you want to make sure, of course, is that the next funding round, which when you're getting your shares, is going to be extremely successful. And we have great news to share. We have already 3 of one of the biggest CPG investors in the US who want to contribute between 5 to 8 million on our next round, which is...
So this is our Series A, which is when the investments will turn.
That's the moment where you get your shares automatically. That's something that we're so grateful that these CPG investors have invested in brands like, Drunk Elephant, Athletic Greens, Seed.
We do have limited space though in this round. So for those who are interested, we would love to have you on board. Definitely make sure to get your investment in. And if you have friends or family or other people, other people in the industry that would love to get involved, definitely let them know about our crowdfund. It's really easy to share. We have a page on our WeFunder, and
I think we can just place the link over here. Share this link with as many people as you want, friends, family, business people, whoever on LinkedIn, social media, just go out and spread it. This would be really, really helpful.
If you have any other questions, head on over to our website, scroll all the way down, you can click a link called crowdfunding, and there we have lots of common Q&As.
And if you have additional questions, of course, you can also go to our crowdfunding page. Again, that's the link. Add your question and it will be answered. And additionally, that's really exciting and something that we wanted to open up for everyone who's really interested and really wants to join and really just wants that little more confidence in it. We're doing our first big live webinar.
Yeah.
We're doing a live webinar on the 17th of October. It's gonna be not only Annie and me, it's gonna also be two of our people that we're working with. So if you feel like you wanna get sort of a vision of who we're actually working with, they will be joining. That's the webinar, and of course it will speak about the agenda, what we will be discussing. That's your spot to really ask your questions on point with Annie, me, and two of our people. That is so exciting, and it will be taking place again on the 17th of October. Webinar will be down in the description box.
Yeah, click on that link, register yourself, and this is just for 3,000 people. So for those who are really interested, because we do have like a limited amount of people that we can host for the webinar. So if you are one of those people who are really interested, then definitely sign up if you have additional questions. And if you sort of feel like, you know, maybe you just have like one little question here or there, then head on over to our WeFunder page. I will pop it in here what it looks like.
Again, thank you guys. There's this unwavering love and support that we have gotten from you guys. We're so grateful for our community. We're so grateful for you. And I think the most important part is like you can be part of a shift. We're shifting the emphasis from treatment to prevention, something that currently doesn't exist. And that's such an exciting time. Like we are changing skin health, we are changing the skincare industry, and you can be part of this movement. Thank you guys again.
We hope that you enjoyed this video. We hope that you got some good tips and advice and inspiration and just motivation to get your own ideas out there. We all have like something that we're thinking about, and we hope that this gave you a little bit of courage and just like a push in the right direction. Thank you guys so much. We hope that you're having a beautiful day. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in my next one.
Bye guys.